Hello everyone, hope all of you are fine and great. So today we'll be discussing about Memorandum of Association. So this is one of the most important, very important, crucial aspect from your exam perspective. Not only that, in a company's perspective, MOA plays a very important role. That's about Memorandum of Association. So guys, any company you go, they all have an MOA. And in case if you're a CS aspirant, CA aspirant, or if you're a law student, if you're preparing for any kind of corporate aspect also, this MOA understanding is very important. That we'll be discussing today. Okay, so guys, just before I start, very important thing which I want to tell is that, so guys, in my playlist of company law, I've posted many videos about what is company, what is partnership. So in case if you feel that somewhere your basics have been lacking, you can even watch those kind of videos. Now let's get started. So guys, before I start, I want to tell you that the documents you submit before like in order to get registration of a particular company, three documents you're supposed to submit. Okay, so three documents you have to submit in order to get registration of your company. Document number one is called as Memorandum of Association, then Articles of Association, then comes the prospectus. So that we'll be discussing in much detail over here. Okay, Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association, and Prospectus. Now, Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association, Prospectus. Prospectus already video I've already uploaded. Articles of Association will be the next video which I'll be posting it. Now, what is MOA? Memorandum of Association. I'll tell you in a very simple language, okay? You'll understand. Even a small kid also will understand. See, it is basically to know the relationship of a company and the external world. See, as soon as you do research about a company, for example, I want to invest 500 crores. Just imagine. Okay, I'm that Ambani now. I'm going to invest 500 crore in so and so company. So if I want to invest in that company, simply will I go offer something? No, I will also look something in return. No, obviously, when I'm going to invest that amount in that particular company, I want to see what is the background structure of that company. I want to see what is that company's relationship with the external world. So I will open up their MOA and I'll read properly. So based on the clause, complete. Based on the clause, a company can basically be registered. So MOA plays a very important role. So that entire structure of the company I'll be able to understand through the power of an MOA. And there are 6 clauses for it. One is name clause. So in an MOA, what all will be there? Obviously, there'll be name. Okay, name clause will be there. Then there'll be about registration of office clause, objective clause will be there, liability clause will be there, capital clause will be there, associated clause will be there. 6 clauses. That's it. So now let's discuss about what is name clause. So name clause will contain the name of the company. For example, Pawan Spiritual Company Limited. Dumb. Not dumb. I'm like dung. I said okay. Dung. It's like a bell sound. So Pawan Spiritual Services Company Limited. Now name clause. What are the names we cannot keep for a company? For example, cannot use parliamentary language names and all. We cannot use it, or we cannot use a country's name for a company. This one, other company's name cannot be objected by the company law. So any name which has been forbidden or prohibited by the company law, that name we cannot add it. Okay. Now later date, you can basically change the name. Very important. So a name clause, you can always change it, but they have their own kind of formalities for it. But for the time being, understand in name clause, parliamentary languages, country name, and company certain so and so names you're not supposed to do it. For example, some names they have patent rights, you cannot use that particular name. So some companies name, like any company's name, you cannot use it. So which companies are already existing now, those companies name you cannot use it. That's the reason if you observe, many companies, if you observe, you'll find that R symbol, R circle symbol in many of the logos and all. That has been registered names. Okay, so even just keep that in your mind. Now, if it is a private company, it is compulsory for them to mention it as PVT Ltd, private limited. Okay, it's compulsory. If you are starting a private company, private PVT limited is compulsory. For example, Pawan Spiritual Service Center Private Limited. That's my private company. Now, if it is a public company, what will I mention? Public company means I will be mentioning it as Pawan Limited. That's it. I won't be mentioning anything as any specific for it. Very simple as this. Now, let me take you towards what is registered office clause. So first we learned about name clause. Second clause is called as registered office clause. In registered office clause, what all will be there in that MOA? They'll be having place, address, can even change the place or location. Everything will be there in the registered office clause. Okay, very simple as this. So in registered office clause, what all will be there? Place will be there, address will be there, can even change the place or location. You can even change it on the later date, but in that registered office clause, you'll be having all kind of details. Okay. And there is one important case laws. Obviously, this MOA, what all you're studying now, you have to start with the case law. Obviously, for a law student, case laws section number, it's compulsory for you. So MOA ka section number, that is about section 2 subclause 56. Okay, remember by heart this name, and one case law also you have to remember, that is compulsory. Okay, at least one case law you can remember, no? That's about in Ashbury Railway Carriage and Iron Co Limited versus in Richer case, my court held that MOA of a company defines limitation and on the power of the company. So I'm just telling this case. I had to tell this case first itself, but I forgot to tell it. So now I'm just telling it to you. Ashbury Railway Carriage. You can write this case. Okay. As soon as you write about a memorandum of association, you give an introduction stating that it is basically to understand the relationship between a company and the external world. You can mention about that particular section number. Then you can section 256, then mention about this case. Ashbury Railway Carriage and Iron Limited, Co Limited versus Richer case, the court held that MOA of a company defines what limitation and the power of the company. Okay, then after that you can start mentioning the clause. Name clause is done, registered clause is also done. Now let's see. Now let's open the next page. Object clause. So guys, in object clause there are two types. One is main and other objectives. So there are two kinds of objectives under object clause. So object clause means what? It tells about what is the objective of that particular company. What are the rules and regulation that should be followed, and what are the aspects they should not violate it. What is the main objective for that particular organization function? What are the rules and regulations? What should not violate rules of a company? All that they'll be mentioning in objective clause, basic objective. So there are two kinds in under objective clause. One is main and other objectives. Just remember this also. Now, fourth important aspect is liability clause. Liability clause, it mentions about what is the liability of the shareholders, what should be the liability of the board of directors, all that they'll be covering over there. Now, fifth important aspect is capital clause. Capital clause means where they're trying to get the money. So where are they getting the capital? So in capital, there are two kinds of capital. One is preference share, and second one is equity shares. Okay, two ways of acquiring money, or they can even apart from shares, they can even issue debentures and then they can receive the money. These are three ways. One, they can acquire capital through preferred share, equity shares, or through debentures. Now, what do you mean by associate clause? In associate clause, it's like they want signature. Okay, so in a private company, minimum at least two directors' signature is compulsory, required in a MOA. Okay, in memorandum of association, two director signature is compulsory necessary, and two witness signature is also necessary. So four people, right? In a public company, seven people. Remember, seven directors signature is compulsory. Okay, seven directors signature is compulsory and seven witnesses. So 7 twos are 14 people's 14 people will be involved for it. Okay, seven people should sign that. Okay, from today onwards this MOA will be passing on. So private company, two directors will sign it. In public company, seven directors. Very simple as this. Then there are six clauses which we discussed now: name clause, registered office clause, and then object clause, liability clause. Then we learned about capital clause and then associate clause. So guys, that's all for today. Here ends our knowledge about MOA, Memorandum of Association. Very simple concept. Don't miss it. It's one of the most important, for example, 10 markers or 15 markers, regardless in your law exam, you can surely expect this question. So that's all. If you do like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And do let me know your views in the comments on what kind of topics should I even post again on. Do let me know. I'll be very happy to post it. So take care. Wish you all the best. Good luck.